Most traders think journaling means writing down P&L and calling it a day. That's not journaling, that's accounting. If you're not improving month after month, it's not because the market is random, it's because you don't have data on yourself. In this video I'm going to show you what real trade journaling looks like, what you should track, and how to turn your journal into like an edge for yourself. Because journaling isn't about feeling productive, it's about exposing your weaknesses in the market. Most traders take a loss, feel emotional, blame the market, move on, repeat the mistake. They don't track their mistakes like overtrading, revenge trading, early exits, model violations, and all that. Overall, if you don't track behavior, behavior won't change. You probably don't have a strategy problem, you have an execution tracking problem. I don't use Notion or anything like that, I just keep it very simple. I use Google Docs and I write everything in that. I have a day trading journal for my days and I have one for the week where I analyze my P&L and win rate and RR and all that shit. So let's just get straight into it. So this is how my trading journal looks like. It's very simple, very effective for me. Basically, we obviously gotta have the date up here, then the P&L for the day, and then we get into some of the more writing stuff or whatever you want to call it. For example, first, daily bias pre-session. I mean, you can't just write, let's say, bullish, I was bullish. No, why were we bullish? Are we respecting bearish PDAs or disrespecting bearish PDAs? So this is my first question for myself and how to finding bias. I don't want to go over how I find bias in this video because this is pure day trading journal, but obviously it just can't be we were bullish. We gotta have a why are we bullish. Okay, and I'll maybe take like one trade on an FX replay and then journal it so you can see how I journal it. Okay, so why are we bullish? You gotta write it down. Okay, are we respecting the bullish PDAs? Are we displacing from external to internal liquidity or whatever? Next on the list is why did I enter when I did? Okay, so what we're talking about here is probably like IFVG entry. This is based on pure IFVG because that is what I trade, but it can also be something like we got the 10 a.m. manipulation into a 15-minute fair value gap or some shit like that, and then we got a strong close below the fair value gap. Something like that. Basically, why did I enter when I did? It's something you wanna take account on because if you just enter blindly, you obviously don't know how to trade. But if you know why you entered, like we got a liquidity sweep, we tapped a higher time frame PDA, we got very bullish displacement to the upside, and we inversed a 5-minute fair value gap or something like that. This is what you can write in this section. Okay. Next up, we have confluences and what kind of setup it was. So confluences. Let me show you real quick here. Confluences. I have this setup rating guide right here. Basically, this is what I want to see when looking for one of my setups. Really depends if it's a continuation model or a reversal model. This is for the reversals. So confluences. Did we get a liquidity sweep? Are we delivering from a higher time frame fair value gap? Do we have insane momentum through the IFVG? Do we have good draws on liquidity? Did we have a singular FVG to inverse? Are we in EQ in the range? Do we have an SMT? Whatever. Confluences. That's the confluence part. What kind of setup was it? Was it a reversal setup? Was it a 10 a.m. manipulation setup? Was it a continuation setup? Was it a MEG setup? Okay, these are things you want to take account of because, I mean, if you write it many times, you'll see what kind of setup that actually has the highest win rate, obviously. So, yeah, confluences, did we sweep liquidity? Are we in a higher time frame fair value gap? Are we in EQ of the range? Blah, 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 all that shit. And what kind of setup was it? Next, emotions. When we are talking about before, we are talking about pre-market feelings. Like, how are you feeling on the day? Are you tired? Are you fresh? Are you hungry? Are you angry for some reason? It can be this, and it can also be feelings before entering the trade. This is stuff like, are you insecure about the trade? Are you confident in your trade? Stuff like this. And now let's talk about the after trade. Are you mad about the trade? Why should you be mad about the trade? Let's say you broke your rules and you know that, then yeah, you should be pretty mad. Are you happy about the trade you took? How were your feelings during the trade? Something like that. Okay, this is what we want to note down in the emotion part. Okay, now did I break any rule? You have your own set of rules. I don't want to go over mine in this video, but you should have your own set of rules. And if you broke any of these rules, do run 10 kilometers or something. I don't know. And the overall recap, this should just be as the word says, an overall recap of the trade, why you loved it, drawn liquidity, confidence, all that shit. Would you take it again? Would you show it to your parents? All that shit. You should probably not show it to your parents, but you know, just an overall recap of what you wrote right here, basically. We want to fit a photo of this chart of the trade right here, okay? Oh yeah, we also have this P&L and data up here, and risk to reward. We also want to note that. So let's say we took a trade today, 2nd 24, 2026, bang, let's say we made 500, what the fuck, okay, I don't know why I did that, but 500 and equals 1.5, 1 to 1.5, seems valid. Now let's get down to the weekly analysis. Weekly analysis, let's say that here we want to note the number of trades we took. Let's say we took 5, win rate, obviously we gotta calculate that somehow, winners versus losers, break even just counts as 0, and risk to reward, we wanna go look at all the trades we took this week, calculate the risk to reward into the average risk to reward. Let me just do this, average risk to reward. Now, how much did we make this week? How much did we lose? Best trade and why. Here we want to post the best trade and write in depth why it was the best trade, and worst trade. We also put a screenshot in here and like go in depth with why this was the worst trade. I mean, did you break your rules? Did you do something you shouldn't have done? And most common mistake this week. Here on the weekly analysis, most common mistake you made this week. Simple. Go back to the journal you have made for the week, read it. Okay, is there anything that are similar that I didn't like about the setups I took this week? Note that shit down. And don't do the same mistake next week. Try at least not to. What did I do consistently good this week? Again, go up, bang, read something that, sounds similar to each other on all the days you noted. Write that shit. What type of setups performed the best this week? Here we are talking about what kind of setup it was, continuation, reversals, make model, all that shit, okay? And did I break any rules this week? Basic stuff. You don't have to, have a fucking loaded journal with, that's aesthetic as fuck. This is okay. This doesn't get any better for me, at least. If you want that, then go be a kid and do that. But this is pretty good for me. I just realized I was paused on OBS and I have been writing all this shit right here. But anyways, I took this trade right here. I don't want to do this shit again because it was actually it took a while. But anyways, we can go over the trade real quick and go over what I wrote in the journal. So as you can see right here, coming into the market, we have these equal highs right here. I was very bullish. Why? Because we are respecting bullish PDAs and disrespecting bearish PDAs. And we have very solid drawn liquidity, equal highs, and the general order flow is just very bullish. Okay. Anyways, coming into the market, we are just kind of pumping. So I was looking for a continuation model, even though we swept out our drawn liquidity. because what do we have up here as well? We have this intermediate high and this unfilled gap right here. Anyways, we touch the 15-minute gap. We got this accumulation. This is our 30-minute power 3. We got our accumulation, manipulation into the 15-minute gap, and IFVG with extreme displacement right here. I was only targeting a 1-to-1 because, I mean, we already took out our equal highs as a strong liquidity. But now you know the trade. I put in the trade right here. P&L. Let's just write that real quick, Excel. How much did I make on this trade? 1029. And risk to reward is a 1 to 1.03. Okay. So I wrote this already, but I was looking for a continuation long because of our bias and very bullish order flow. We then touched the 15-minute Fibonacci gap and got a nice 1-minute inversion with extreme momentum through it. Our drawn liquidity was not that clear, so I just targeted a 1-to-1. So why I wrote it wasn't clear is because we already swept out our initial drawn liquidity right here. These are actually not equal, by the way, they are relatively equal. But I mean, we have some draws higher as well. So yeah. I mean, I'm not writing this in extreme depth right now, just because I want you to do it yourself, but you can do whatever you want. Confluences and what kind of setup was it? Here we wrote it was a continuation model. I don't want to explain my continuation model because you should already know it. And confluences, Fibonacci gap, displacement, 30-minute candle, AMD. Emotions before, I just wrote I'm fresh because this is FX replay, can't really have any emotions to be honest. During, I was confident, I knew it was gonna hit in less than 5 minutes based on the momentum we got here, I'm not gonna lie. Did I break any rule? No. Okay, and overall, trade recap, I wrote it was a decent continuation setup. We already swept out our higher time frame DOL, which isn't ideal, but still a great con. We are also in a pretty high premium range, which isn't ideal as well. Look, from the opening, we are in a pretty, it would have been much better if we hit EQ of this range right here and got a setup from this Fibonacci gap right here, but still a overall decent continuation model. Could I have targeted possibly some other things than just a random fixed risk reward? Let's see over here. We do have this intermediate 15-minute high. I could have targeted that if I wanted to. I just wasn't paying attention at the time. So we can also write that down. Could have gone for a higher R because we had a 15-minute intermediate high. Bang. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is my trading journal. I do this every single day when I take a trade. When I don't take a trade, I just when I don't take a trade, I just note down my emotions. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you.